Okay, we're back. 2 players remain, but only one is going to get out of this group and continue his story here in the GSL.
Yep, we're down to 1 Protos and 1 Zerg. It's time for Squirtle versus action. Pet goes out 0-4. Tough games. You know, actually, no, he did take 1 set, excuse me. He lost in game 3 to Stork. And, you know, arguably should have won that final game. But should have, could have, would have. Doesn't matter now. Squirtle versus action starts on Merry-Go-Round, our 3-player map.
What are your thoughts on merry-go-rounds?
I like it a lot, actually. I think it's a pretty fair map. It's
oh, I just meant merry-go-rounds in general.
Oh, merry-go-rounds in general. They're for like, I think I spent a time on them about once every 5 years.
Every 5 years?
Yeah. I did. Last time I was in Paris, I went on a merry-go-round.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was fun, actually.
How old were you when you went on that merry-go-round? Well,
I was 22.
All right, so not too old.
No, not
too old, that's for sure. All right, Squirtle against Action and PBZ for our final best of 3 here in Code A. What am I talking about? Hold on, before I do our little banter. In the upper right, we have our Protos player. He is
Quarter.
And to the top left, loves his early pools.
Action.
And another one.
Yes,
here.
he does. We're going to have another very quick spawning pool here. This game, actually, depending on how Squirtle plays, it could end right away. So
what are you're going to tell me something about merry-go-round?
I used to work at a merry-go-round.
What? Really?
I'm not joking. One of the many jobs I got before I got this job, I was, what, 16? And my job was to sit there and collect dollars for people that want to put their kid on the merry-go-round, or for adults like you who are 22 and ride merry-go-rounds. That's basically what I did, Wolf.
Yeah?
Yeah. And a lot of times, my other job was that the kids who would get on the merry-go-rounds would oftentimes get sick and then throw up, and I'd have to pick them up and hold them over a trash can.
Wow, did that happen a lot?
It actually happened more than you'd think it would. A lot of little kids are not used to you know, spinning around in a circle like that.
I used to ride a lot when I was really young. It was one mall.
That was like when you were like, what, 19 then? Or
17 and a half.
Yeah, all right.
Well, when I was like 4 or 5, I would go a lot. I remember the first time I rode by myself, I was like so happy. I was like,
I'm an adult, I'm on the merry-go-round. I used to be really scared of roller coasters when I was a kid.
Me too, actually, and I still don't really like them that much.
I like them now, although I think I don't know, I like forced myself to just get used to it. Those are fun though.
Okay, Lings are spotted.
Yeah, Lings are spotted here. Now let's see how well he can actually execute this strategy. Oh my God, is he going to stop the hatchery from getting planted?
Not for very long anyways.
Oh, boss move. That was sick.
That is pretty huge, actually. He has to take the third base that's far now for his natural. Or take the second base at a third base location is what I mean to say.
And here's the hatch now coming down. Now, he doesn't have any attackers, guys, just the probes. Now, more importantly, the Zerg does not want to lose any links. Yeah, just keep the probes moving, keep them interrupted like that. Oh my God! Nice around here by Squirtle. Squirtle.
Oh my
God! Squirtle, you stud!
All right, well,
only one probe. That was so sick.
That was really well controlled.
Okay,
the next set, the last second, like after the last second.
Yeah. Nicely done. Now again, Squirtle could still, everything could just fall apart if he's not careful here. You know, you lose one probe too many, and you're really in a tough spot. Nice control so far here with the probes. Zealot really taking up most of the surface area here. That's exactly what he wants. He's pulling away the weaker probes. My God, man, he is so good.
That was an excellent hold. Now it's not
and
over
the second
yet,
Zealot pops out.
Yeah. If he could defend more links than this with one Zealot, I think he could defend less. Core is going to be done in a second. He can start getting that mothership core out. He's a little bit more gas first, but this mining hasn't been interrupted so significantly that the action gets ahead, I would say.
Ooh, got to be careful with that Zealot. He doesn't have a second one making, by the way. He's actually just waiting on that mothership core first, and then probably get a stalker next.
He could go warp gate research first.
Oh yeah, that's true. He could do that as well.
I wonder what his actual plan is going to be.
Okay, you're right. Warp gate research.
He could He could just do a multiple warp gate rush off of one base against the third base that's far away, but that's the old way to deal with this problem, and I don't think Squirtle's the type to do that.
Well, let's see what exactly he has in store here. You know, he does still have that pylon, mind you, occupying the ideal location where the hatchery would want to be over there for actions base. So, you know, he could, you know, just move out and try to put some pressure on that third base. I mean, it's a much closer rush distance, but instead he's going to make a nexus here, so no additional warp gates. This is probably the safer way to go. Get an expansion up. I mean, both players actually left that with losses. We had a canceled nexus. The Lings didn't do anywhere near as much damage as I think most of us who were watching expected them to do.
Yeah.
Squirtle really highlighting that, you know, his micro is phenomenal.
He's going into 3 gates so far. I really feel like he's going to put some pressure on that third base. The pylon was not just like, aha, now you can't expand behind this, but it was more so a, now not only can you not expand here, but you need to expand closer to me. And he gets punished for it.
We're going to have a second rush here. Ling Speed and the Roach Warren coming.
I think Squirtle expects this. Look at how careful he's being here. He's like, what if you just do a Speedling all-in next? That could be something you do.
This actually looks a lot like the old Wings of Liberty PvZ build, where you have a few sentries and you're trying to push out and just get a nexus up, utilizing your force field as much as you can.
Yeah, just kind of hanging there on the edge, the tight wall there, with your zealots if you have them. This is going to make it pretty hard for Squirtle to actually hold on without cannons yet. He's going to have a nexus cannon, but...
Well, the problem is going to be roaches coming out here.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot of stalkers. Well, he has one, so...
which is not a lot.
Oh, my God.
Well, he's going to have...
Oh, my God, that force field is pretty sick. Oh, my
less.
God, that zealot was on a diet.
He was, like, leaning against the wall instead of standing in between it.
Yeah, man. Some doorman there. So, roaches are still a threat. I got to say, actually, Squirtle handled that pretty well. Notice how he waited until the very last possible second to use that force field. Just really letting the sentry's shields run out.
Okay, this hasn't been scouted yet, so he doesn't know. So that's why he's making a Warp Prism right now.
He definitely would have wanted to have
an Immortal instead.
Yeah, an Immortal instead of a Warp Prism. That a Warp Prism rather won't do anything. I suppose in the middle of the battle, if he's really winning, he could send the Warp Prism over there and make Zealots.
He might be able to use the Warp Prism to save sentries too, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
I mean, that's not what he wants to do with it, but, like, once he sees this coming, that might be something he uses it for.
Let's see, we got, what, 3 sentries over there, right?
I think 3.
Is my mind playing tricks to me? I believe I saw 3 sentries over there.
Oh, God, he's going to have the Warp Prism out of position when this happens.
Wait, he has no sentries there? What?
Oh, he picked them up in the Warp Prism.
Ah, okay. There we go.
So that's
4 sentries, but now the problem is the Zerg just gets in here.
Yeah. Warps in additional sentries. Needs that Nexus cannon. It's not enough energy yet. He needs 5 more.
And in the meanwhile, Zerg can get either up into the main here or just focus fire that Nexus.
He can't drop the sentries out or they'll just die.
This whole day has been a series of very early pulls. Okay, well, he's just going to be able to kill everything over here. You can see he's trying to use force fields, but I mean, really, in this giant open area, how can you actually utilize force fields?
Immortal here might be able to bring the roaches away from that Immortal. Does he hold here?
No, he gets the Nexus, man.
He's going to lose the Nexus, but at
oh, wow, you know what? You know what? I take it back. The Nexus is going to be around for a little bit longer.
50, 35, 20!
Oh my God, I was so sure he was going to lose that. Okay, well, look, if he actually just manages with perfect control to just deny, no, it doesn't matter. Oh my God!
Help!
It's crazy, man.
Oh, wow, but still now Squirtle's got a bunch of Immortals and +1 and a Warp Prism.
That was a lot of units that he sent out there, by the way, that, you know, were attacking into the Nexus while Protos was warping in units that were in perfectly good shape.
Warp Prism here is so dangerous now. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't just try to go across the map and attack.
Yeah, I kind of thought he was going to do that too.
Is he just going to like try to kill Queens and drones here and then keep picking up?
Well, you know, from here, the Queen is not going to do damage fast enough to really impact the Warp Prism. He has a lot more freedom to just move around here. And I guess from there, yeah, he could do an attack of his own.
If he kills the Queen, then there's no more anti-air.
Yeah. You can see he's trying to do that. The Ling's taking up a lot of surface area here, however. Ooh, he's got to be careful, man. Yeah. Don't want to lose that. He loses that Warp Prism, he probably loses this game.
I think a ground-based counterattack might have been more effective. Again,
yeah, I have to agree with you, Wolf. I think if he just pushed out, he might have been in better shape. I mean, he does have, you know, the warp prism here. He can warp in units and move forward. He's got a lot of sentries.
I think killing these tumors, that's pretty nice.
That's something.
Because Action is going to the next phase of the all-in. He like still hasn't made any more drones. He's at 28 this whole time.
And you know, in fact, if Squirtle just stays on his 2-base, he could just defend. He doesn't. I mean, you're right. He doesn't have to actually attack into him. You know, most other Zergs would probably have made a hatchery by now, especially when you killed the Nexus.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no need to keep trying to all in. I mean, that was the blow you were looking for. You're mining from 2 bases. He's mining from 1, and only just now mining again now from the 2nd. But that was a lot of lost time there.
I'm gonna go snipe this queen. And I actually could just go for tumors instead. Whoa. He's playing with fire here.
Yeah, this is pretty gutsy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he dropped on the low ground, I'd like it better, but it looks like we're gonna see Swarm Hosts here. I guess he could try to like kill infestors with this. That would be pretty weird. Yeah, okay, Swarm Hosts against Immortals makes more sense. Squirtle may allow him to catch back up into this game, though, because Swarm Hosts make free units that do a lot of damage, so can start being pretty cost-efficient that way. I think he's going to move across the map now with 5 Immortals, a fake Colossus.
Yeah, I do love the fake Colossus. I don't think the Swarm Host thing is going to work. There's not enough capital here that Squirtle's sucking in, or excuse me, Action sucking in here to produce the, you know, Swarm Hosts necessary to actually not have, you know, I mean, Squirtle could just topple it, basically. And double robo. Damn. Okay, so I almost, you know, honestly, Wolf, I feel like Squirtle's almost being too fancy here. I like what he's doing.
I totally agree.
But I think, okay, 2-base versus 2-base, there's almost a little bit more risk here flying this Warp Prism out with these 2 Immortals, which are just so valuable. I mean, I don't think he's going to lose it because I'm sure he's very much so aware that all he has to do is keep this alive and he's fine. But the next follow-up is just a very straightforward attack here into the 2nd. Yeah, I mean, guys, he doesn't have to kill him right now, but this would be the most logical next move, right? I mean, he's going to have double robo.
I mean, it seems like his only other plan here is kind of like,
I mean, Zerg is getting a Spire now, which is peculiar.
Yeah, that's...
I guess he's thinking maybe I could switch into something else, but I mean, this, again, 2-base Zerg versus 2-base Protoss. I'm under the impression Action might even know that he's basically out of luck right now.
I think that... The thing is that if Squirrel's just like, well, you're going to mine out eventually. I'm going to mine out eventually, but it's going to be better because it's 2-base versus 2-base. I think Squirrel's also underestimating that at any point in time, Action could just take that 3rd base. Like he's gonna get it for free at any time if Squirtle keeps playing passive like this. Is he gonna like try to hide the 3rd Nexus down there? What is that?
He is. I don't understand why he's doing this, man.
I don't know why he has to do it like this.
He should have had vision, right, of the lack of the 2nd, correct?
Yeah, well now it's too late to push out anymore, I think. With the Swarm House count this high, with 3 more about to pop, and with this creep spread.
He's about to have 2 more Colossi pop out, I mean.
Oh my god. It's fine. Good micro there by Action, but he's not going to get it. Damage is a lot, though.
Yeah, more than he probably should have allowed. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit weird. You know, we feel like... I personally feel like we're seeing the Protoss try to sneak another expansion here when this just isn't really necessary. I mean, he can power on 2-base. Zerg has already forced himself into a complex tech route. He's not getting Corruptors and Swarm Hosts. I feel like all Protoss has to do is sit on 2-base and push out.
Uh-oh, this Warp Prism is dead now.
And I see, this is what I was talking about. I mean, isn't there just more risk than reward here?
I don't know why Squirrel's playing this like this. Well, actually, I do, but like, I don't know if I agree with it.
Okay, we have another Locust spawn coming up here.
I mean, the thing is, the Zerg player is at such a low economy still. All right, can he break 3 Earth? 4 Colossi?
You know, this game started out action-packed and crazy, now it's gotten a little bit weird. Okay, so he did transfer the probes there, so it's no secret anymore as to what he's trying to do. Now the Lings are going to come up here. Now, they are safe. The main is safe, at least. The probes were evacuated.
Well, I guarantee you, if Squirtle wins this game, he's not going to feel good about it. This is just like...
I mean, he's going to come out now. I mean, it's just corruptors and obviously the locusts from the swarm hosts. A few roaches are being made here. Again, though, I mean, I don't know if he's waiting for another stalker warp in or what, but I would assume he could actually probably just push across this. I mean, this is a formidable army here.
Yeah, the corruptors here trying to kill that mothership core. They're successful, but the locusts are killing so many sentries on the ground. The Colossi had to stay back. Doesn't have a whole lot of stalkers.
Okay, now he has the observer up here. He just needs to keep those Colossi back.
It's a lot of corruptors.
And you know what? Actually, I have to hand it to Action. He's made this small army work really, really well. Perhaps I'm underestimating, really, Action's
Are we going to watch a 3-base Protoss lose to a 2-base Zerg?
Yeah, I mean, this is what's so weird about it. It's a 3-base Protoss and a 2-base Zerg, and this is... Normally you have the opposite of this, guys. And I don't know if it's because Squirtle's decided in his head that his opponents everywhere we see he's scouted pretty well with Zealots. I mean, anybody, if you're a Protoss and you have a Zerg going 2-base swarm hosts, you just wait it out. You know, you get some air, for instance, Protoss air. Void Rays can come in quite handy here.
So actually just going to go ahead and start fighting these Colossi. He eliminates one more. Is he going to get two? Not losing any corruptors yet, by the way. One does die. And the roaches are going to come over here and kill his base.
Okay, well this game was...
this was totally botched by Squirtle, man. Like
this was such a weird game. Well, again, let's go back a little bit. I mean, what was with the Warp Prism shenanigans with the Immortals that were going on for too long? I mean, like we said, I mean, he let this guy get a lot of swarm hosts and actually a sizable number of corruptors, and then he expanded for a third time, which really let the Zerg's army be much more formidable.
Well, this is really annoying. He's going to have to defend with roaches that spawn, but he should be able to clean this up.
We got Blink coming in here now. We got just not enough Squirtles. I mean, this is kind of a train wreck of a game here from Squirtle. I mean, not that Action's playing bad. I mean, he definitely deserves our respect here, but I mean, overall, I mean, it's like Squirtle did a whole bunch of... He did this weird harass and getting a third base with Zerg is just sitting on 2 base after doing 2 all-ins.
I feel like this is like the scene in that Indiana Jones movie where Squirtle's like brandishes the sword and swings it around and like Action just shoots
him with a gun. Yeah, Indy shoots him with a gun.
Yeah, this is like... I don't know, Squirtle. This was pretty disastrous. I'm almost like speechless at this.
Yeah, I mean...
He had observers, hallucinations, everything to identify that he could have attacked by ground safely. That's the last of the Colossi, which means killing these locusts is basically impossible. And he's going to lose everything here. The observers are gone. Way too many roaches here. The next wave of locusts will defend this. Yeah, I mean, well, there's enough roaches out here, too. Okay, like, good luck to you guys, stalkers.
This game is actually a bit of a disaster. This was not supposed to happen. Squirtle could have won this, guys.
We just watched a 3-base Protoss lose to 2-base Zerg.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, he never needed to be a 3-base Protoss. He could have powered hard and pushed out and punished Zerg while he was doing 2 different techs on 2 bases, the Swarm Hosts and Mutas.
Yeah.
Or and Corruptors, excuse me. Like, what?
GG.
Action's like, oh my god, that happened. All right.
Do you think Squirtle can come back from a loss like this?
I mean, that game was bad. You know the Squirtle, I mean, the coach is going in there being like, man, he had 2 bases the whole time. He's on 2 bases. You're trying to expand. You can even see Action right now. It's like, yeah, that happened. I guess I got away with that.
Well, there's Supreme in there talking to him.
Nestie's stunt double, actually. Or maybe Nestie is his stunt double, depending on how you really want to look at it. I mean, knowing Nestie.
Well, the only way you can tell the difference is Nestie only wears a New York Yankees hat.
That's true.
If you ever see any other hat, it's not Nestie.
It's an imposter. Well, his coach is in there like, yeah, don't do that again. That wasn't supposed to happen.
I told you not to do that early pool, but I mean, I guess you got away with it.
We've had a lot of early pools here today.
Yeah, like
more than half of our
series.
games. Yeah, actually, I think it might be like 3/4 of our games. One of the Zergs, if there's 2 or if there's 1, and then one Zerg almost always makes that quick pool.
We didn't see an early pool in our Protoss versus Protoss, but you know that was.
I wouldn't have been surprised if one just started there.
Squirtle doesn't look too upset, but he's never been a player to get emotional.
No, I mean, I think he's experienced enough. He's, you know, he could bounce back from stuff like this. But that was definitely, I mean, don't do what Squirtle did there. There was a lot of little smart things he was doing, but in the big picture, nothing made any sense.
Well, he's like, I could maybe kill this queen. There's a lot of Speedlings over here, but what if I accidentally lose my Warp Prism, both my Immortals? And when the Corruptors were out, he came in again. after seeing the Spire,
I mean, that's a game
inexcusable.
you have to wipe that from your memory if you're Squirtle. I mean, I would just move forward. I would not ever watch the VOD of that game. No.
Well, Action's got this momentum going for him.
Yeah, he does. I doubt we're going to have that quick pull here this game. It's a 4-player map.
Yeah.
And it's not the quickest route to get to your opponent.
No, definitely not. I think we're just going to see a more normal game here. Squirtle can come back and win this series, but the momentum definitely in Action's favor. And even if Squirtle wins this game, the last map will be Overgrowth because Action's going to pick it no matter what. I'm very confident of this.
Great map, too.
Yeah.
All right, so Protos 2 is going to be our map. Let's see if Squirtle can come back after that very bumpy game, or if Action does close this out. This will be our final best of 3 here at the GSL today.